What's up, Champions fam? It's Zeke 4-0, back with a brand new WWE Champions video. And let's be real right now, okay? I was hesitant. Beforehand. But after taking a look at the exclusive 5-star gameplay from the Broskis, thanks to the good old folks over at Scopely, the verdict is in, y'all. And I have to give the gobbledygooker, feathered fellow, new gen trickster, the bad guy of WWE Champion stamp of approval. Because this guy is he's amazing. He's well-rounded to the point that there's nothing to really hate about him. His gear makes him absolutely broken. That's definitely a guarantee right there. You know, getting your moves off turn 1 is pretty dope. And even if you don't have the gear, turn 2, that's still solid looking at all the things he's able to do. He's able to steal boatloads of health. He's able to cause crazy blue gem cascades of the wild cardos. His moves are quick to get off. He's able to deal some crazy gem damage himself with the right coaching and trainer combinations. And you can literally run him a multitude of ways. You can use him to clear your daily content. You can use him to do some showdown. You can even use him in faction feuds. He brings forth solid utility. But the be-all, end-all for this guy, in my opinion, hands down, is his move damage coaching ability. This ability is going to take so many champions from F tier to the very next level. And champions that are already deemed OP, broken, busted, god tier units, well, they're just going to be in another echelon, an entirely different upper echelon when it comes to how dangerous they become with this guy on them. For instance, now, this guy already, looking at how he rolls with his gem damage, you do a double stack with a legendary strap with some fury metals on him, the Gooker's going to be able to take care of a lot of opponents. Easy clap, no issues, no doubt, no question. Whether it takes 1 or 2 turns, he'll get the job done for you. However, when it comes to a guy like bask in his glory, for he is limitless. Modern era powerhouse, Keith Lee, okay? We already know how OP Lee is, okay? They did him justice in the game, all right? Just running Steel and Slick Rick, he's a monster. You put Steel, Slick Rick, and the Gooker on a guy like Keith Lee with a legendary strap doubled up on the Fury Metals maxed out, you're not kicking out. There's no way around it. And just wait, because you know it's coming. If we just got a move damage coach, okay, there has to be a gem damage coach coming out at one point or time, especially in the 5-star meta. It just makes too much sense for them not to do it. Or maybe it does make too much sense for them not to do it because it is Scopely, after all, that we're talking about here. However, look, as much of a nightmare I might have given all of y'all with that thought of coming up against a 5-star bronze Keith Lee, okay, fully metaled out Fury-wise with Slick Rick and the Gooker on him, there's some other dangerous champions out there. Look at powerhouses with the amount of move damage they can do. He's increasing that. You put this guy on some strikers, certain showboats, any class. There's going to be certain characters that just get taken to the very next level. Especially, like, I look at a guy like Randy Orton, Legend Killer, for instance. Even without medals on him, okay? You put Tech KO or Tech Goldust on him, and then you have Gooker on the coaching side. That finisher is going to be hitting like a truck. So this is one of those guys that I feel like you shouldn't pull for him, not only just to have him. And if you are a fan of nostalgia, then by all means, do what you got to do. People are going to pull regardless, right? But there's certain people now, I've gotten to a point in the game where there are certain champions you should go after for, if not being an OP broken unit in their own right, like Zombie Triple H when he comes out in a banner, or Keith Lee, you know? there are other characters you should try to roll for and do pulls on their Mega Superstar loot banners for the simple fact of how valuable, how priceless their trainer or coaching ability is going to be. Okay? This is all move damage that this guy is covering. All move damage. It isn't just one specific color, it's all moves. The same way that Slick Rick, covers all gems for his trainer ability. This is going to help out any roster, no matter if you're just getting started, if you're free to play, you're a Dolphin, you indulge here and there. This is a guy that you go after when you see him in a banner. Now, some people have actually got mad lucky. Didn't take him a lot, and kudos to him. But again, I'm highly impressed with him. The only downside about this guy, got to speak on it. In order to get the gear, teamwork makes the dream work here. So only a handful of factions are going to end up getting the gear. It's going to be what it's going to be. Whether it's a faction contest milestone reward or a leaderboard reward, only a handful of people are going to get the gear. And the gear is broken. This gear, plus 4 MP to all moves. Again, turn one. With straps, medals, perks involved, this guy's just going to be cakewalking a lot of content, saving you a lot of health packs, saving you a lot of time, and sparing you the headache. The downside is, man, as good of a surprise as he is, the contests are too predictable, man. They need to find a proper formula to their contests. Because, to realize that you could have all of the super rare characters, you could have an account that's like 2 million overall and still only get so far with this contest structure unless you go ahead and are willing to spend disposable income to, fill out the gap. That is very depressing, man. And they need to figure out what's going to count with how they got these milestones structured. We've seen it. 1 minute we're getting a contest with milestones that are highly achievable. It's easy. And even if you're not able to max it out, you're at least able to walk away with a lot of good things when it's said and done, right? Then we get hit with contests where we might fulfill everything that's asked upon us, asked of us. Look at the DX Army HBK situation, okay? You have people who cleared the contest and weren't properly reimbursed. You have people being robbed of their coins, okay? And that was Scopely's fault. And then you got contests like this that, yeah, it's dope to have a situation where, one contest feeds into another. You do your part on the solo side, it feeds into the faction part, or vice versa, right? The thing is, they've never found a true range, and maybe they're doing this on purpose. Maybe they want you to blatantly spend disposable income. And all I can say from that is shame on you, Scopely. I have to emphasize this multitudes of times over. There are multiple mobile games out there that are higher top grossing than Champions, and they do things fair. They make content that you can actually clear. It isn't a life or death situation of making decisions. It isn't a thing of, false propaganda, dealing with certain situations like rotating prize walls. This prize wall for this MLC has been pretty solid. There's been some hiccups like the 5K IGC situation. But at the end of the day, it's been solid. It's been consistent from start and hopefully until finish. Contests are still trying to find the proper grounding, the proper foundation. And after as many years as Champions has been live, it's sad to say that some contests from the past seem to be far superior to the content that we are getting now. And I hope to see a change. The Gooker took me by surprise. A very good one. I wasn't surprised at all that if he was launched and he ended up being a spoof character that ended up being truly busted and broken, I could get that. It wouldn't be surprising. I've seen it done in the past. But at the same time, I feel certain characters, any new character that's brought into the game, whether they're God tier or not, the contest should do that character justice. it should show respect for the character as well as respect towards the community. Because there are a lot of players that love this game. And regardless of the salt, regardless of how many times we get scoped on a banner, regardless of how many times we've gotten, the ass end of things, we stay committed, we stay true, we stay involved in the culture of WWE champions. And I think that it has been long overdue that they finally just put out a proper formula that everyone can adapt to, enjoy, and be grateful for and appreciative. Because when you do good things and you pay it forward, those that you shed that type of light upon will pay it back tenfold. People, instead of grueling and complaining about spending disposable income, they'll have no issue spending because you're doing right by them. You're showing your appreciation for not only the pay-to-play, but the free-to-play players who have stuck it out with you for all these times through spin bans, through different types of glitches that have cost people resources that they can't get back and won't get back. For all the times that you've never said that you were sorry when it was your fault, Scopely, people have remained true to you, true to your product. And continue now, even now, more than ever, with the form that you have provided, have brought up ways to fix the game, make the game better, make the overall experience better for not only those who are playing the game, but in hopes to bring in new blood, new people. It says something when you don't really have any new factions anymore. It's just the same old song and dance with a revolving door of different members going from one faction to another, one faction to another. New ones come and go. They don't last forever. A couple of them, it's a miracle. But when you come out with new content that everyone's willing to enjoy, that, ignites the fire in people's bellies, that's when you know that you're onto something great. And Champions is one of those things that I look at as a missed opportunity. It could be hands down one of the greatest top grossing games of all time for all the right reasons, instead of one of the most underwhelming experiences for all, the wrong reasons. And that's just me. I wasn't expecting much from the Gooker, but I also wouldn't have been surprised with what I have come to see to be a reality. A fun unit. An absolutely interesting, one-of-a-kind unit. Doesn't have a bunch of tag links. Has one set of gear, and even without the gear, he's still a problem. But he's also fun. His animations are cool. His entrance and his victory animation are dope. He is amazing as a champion as well as a coach. And to see how this contest is going to unfold. Luckily, we have people like Gearson and Merrick's now who break down these events and these contests so you can know what to prepare for, what you're getting into. And you got wise leaders of multiple factions who are OGs to the game or new to the game but picked up quick that are able to guide their faction families through these types of trials and tribulations that we come across. So with that being said, y'all, the Gobbledygooker, a very great surprise and a good in all the right ways and reasons. Top shelf solo competitor, amazing coaching ability that will benefit any roster that gets it. I literally said it earlier by mistake saying free to play, Dolphin, pay here or there. This is a character that you invest in even if you're free to play. Whenever you get an opportunity to go to pull for him, you go for it. For the simple fact, this is a character just like the MP trainers and coaches, just like your gem gen and your move damage and gem damage champions that are trainers and coaches that help out top tier units. This is a character that doesn't just benefit one champion. This is a character whose ability is going to benefit any character in the game, from male to female. This is a guy that will basically, elevate your account. And there's no negative drawback except for how much you might have to go down the rabbit hole to get him. But I do hope that we get better contests And with those contests, better content that everyone can enjoy. Not everything has to be behind a paywall. You got to think, we're now at a point where we got players who have million-plus rosters, have 5-star units, and they're not even able to clear certain types of content just because of how it's been made to be. There's certain difficulty spikes. I understand a difficulty spike. It happens in every game. Challenging content. But there's also a point where you got to be like, okay, this is a tad much. Now we're living off a meta where before, back in my day, back in the days of champions, you could survive. You could get a chance to take care of things, handle business, and be a little bruised up, but you can make it out with a 3-star. Now you got people where you literally have to pay to win and invest in straps and medals and skill plates as well. Enjoy your skill plate OP brokenness before they fix it, because that fix is coming. Tread lightly, be ye ready, because it is on the way. Now you need all these different things that have to go into the curriculum for you to stand a chance of clearing some of the content now. Like I mentioned earlier, Keith Lee is a one-of-a-kind unit. A guy that literally can get off things in one turn and kill everything. Not everyone has the luxury of Keith Lee. Not everyone has the luxury of one of the two faces of Hogan. Not everyone has the luxury of having Trickster Big E, even if he was made highly accessible. Some people didn't get a lucky break. So as we move forward with these cool and intriguing characters who might have been boring to some, or a hint and touch of nostalgia for others, and they come out with these incredible training and coaching abilities, or they come out as these top shelf offensive or defensive hybrid juggernauts and titans of the game. There should be contests, there should be content that do these characters justice and pay respect not only to the men and women that are properly presented, that represented the WWE, past, present, and future, but also pays homage and respect to the community that has been here from the past, present, and hopefully the future. So with that being said, y'all, bad times don't last, but champions do. Mad love always to each and every single one of you, my beloved #champions fam. Gooker, a great surprise. But the content, the contests, both solo and faction, we need to see an upgrade, y'all. We need to see an improvement. And the turkeys, but just like the pumpkins, don't really care for it. The odds are 1 in a million. The vaults, as enticing as they might seem, they're not really worth it either. Just depending on who you are and how RNG is going to be. Maybe you get lucky, maybe you don't. And even if you get lucky, doesn't necessarily mean that you walk away a winner. But always know this, regardless of your pulls, regardless of your overall in the game right now, regardless of where you are and where you're headed, to me, Zeke 410, the bad guy WWE champions, you are forever a winner and a true champion in your life. So peace and many blessings, y'all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Another solid trickster, another solid coach. Did you pull for him? Did you get him? What are your thoughts about the contests and the content that have come out thus far within November 2020? Thanks to Tanks MLC. And until next time, y'all, stay tuned. Peace.